Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy South Central back at it again, here to do part 2. Are white people fragile? I want to ask you guys, do you think that America is getting better? Do you think that America is racist? Do you think that there is some racial tension in America? And if you do think that there is racial tension in America, what do you think is causing it? Do you think it's a mindset? Or do you believe that there is actual racism and someone somewhere in somebody's life have caused this pain, this perception, ideology? Or do you think it's just propagated and it's made up to divide Americans? That's a little question that I have for you guys, man. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Literally everyone has some form of racist thoughts. With white people, it's just easier because they're not black or they're not a person of color. They don't have the system around them necessarily to confront that because they don't have to, right? So it takes more work on their part, right? And there's nothing really necessarily, it's not great, but there's nothing wrong with working more harder to get to a certain point. You know what I mean?
It seems like to me that black woke people nowadays, they just want white people to bow. And the more you bow down, the more you lose yourself, all right? They want you to apologize for something you had nothing to do with. They want to create division. They truly want white people to hate themselves. And I don't think that is good for America. I don't think that it's good for any human to treat other humans like that, especially for something that they didn't experience and something that their great grandparents experienced. Maybe not even experienced. It's just because they're black and they were taught that. I don't think it's fair.
So I just want to be clear that I understand this. As a white guy, obviously, and I get it. Look, we're coming from different perspectives. You're defining something that you just said would require more work, right?
Yeah.
It would be a form of racism that they may not know, that frankly is something that they were born with white fragility, through no fault of their own.
Yeah.
What you just outlined is racism.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, you saying white fragility, that would be racist toward, like, saying, yeah, you are blamed for something that you were born with. You have white fragility just
so
because
racism,
you're white.
no, literally.
So this statement is basically saying that white people are naturally racist. They can't do anything about it. They can't change the way they are. They're just inherently racist. This brings up flashbacks, okay? When it comes to politics, if you know how society used to view black people, as far as Democrats, Hillary Clinton to be very specific, they used to view us as super predators. There's nothing you could do about it. They're predators. They're monsters. You can't fix them. All right. Joe Biden. All right. There is no rehabilitation. There's no way to rehabilitate that. It's natural. Okay. Mind you, there were a few people who believed that. Okay. But they're still around. They want your vote. And most likely the way they're talking, it seems like they gave them their vote. But you're doing the same exact thing. You're complaining about something that you're doing to others. And they don't see it that way. And sometimes you have to take a step back and hear yourself talking, because the same thing that you're fighting against, you're becoming. This is very important to have people around you that's not always like-minded, who could point things out that you may not see, and be open-minded to change. All right, not being too open as far as not knowing what bathroom to use. What I'm saying is being open enough to understand that maybe I'm not in the right this time. Maybe I'm wrong. And that takes a person to humble themselves and put the big boy pants on. All right. But I don't think that they're ready for that.
Their own form of racial fragility. You know that, right?
So there is black fragility as a term that's taught. To Latino fragility.
I mean, everyone can be racist towards certain people. And when black people are called out for certain things in the black community that are not necessarily great for the black community, sometimes they'll get defensive, especially if it's not somebody coming from the black community, because one, that could be seen as like perceived hate because you never know who you're talking to. And also just because like black fragility is a complicated subject because a lot of people feel it, you know what I mean? And it does hurt people, their emotions. So it's really hard.
You want people to be racist so bad that you're creating racist people in your head. And what's sad to me is that the people that live in these white neighborhoods, it seems like she's educated, right? I'm from the hood. I can low-key tell when somebody wasn't raised around black folks. It's like they doing black people a favor because they feel guilty for leaving the black community and making themselves better. So they're trying to make some type of conflict. Like, yeah, see, I'm down with black folks too. Like, see, I'm fighting for us, even though I'm in this white area. I'm not with these people though. It's like they live by white people, right? They're friends with them, but they can't tell other black people that because they so black that they feel like they're going against black people. What I want to tell them is this: you're not doing black people a favor by being this goddamn woke. We don't need this in society. What I want people to understand is that my country is more important than your feelings. That goes for BLM, LGBTQ, all these woke mobs, okay? Your experience in this country, all right? Because a lot of times it's amplified because they want to be different. I understand that at a young age, a lot of times people do things to get attention. And I understand that, especially when it comes to social media and things that amplifies stupidity and wokeism and victimhood mentality. But I want these two people to understand that you're not doing black people a service by being woke and saying that everything's racist and saying that you're not being a superhero. We don't care about this. These are things that we don't care about. Me personally, right? Me growing up in the hood, being around a whole bunch of black folks, I just want us to stop killing each other. I literally just want us to stop killing each other. I want us to understand that we are Americans and love your country, because there are people dying to come to this country. And those people that are complaining are not dying to leave. So that should tell you something. All right. You're living on a gold mine that you don't understand that's beneath your feet. Take advantage of it, because those same Africans that you try to be and pro-African now, that they don't look at you as a brother. They look at you as you just in a way. Okay, you look at how stupid you are. You don't even like working. Look at you complaining. This is perfect for me. So these people are taking advantage of the situations you're choosing not to take advantage of. And that's your fault. And it's because of this woke mentality. So while you complaining about being a victim, opportunities are being swept from under your feet. And guess what? It's from people that look just like you. All right. And I'm not saying this to cause conflict between Africans and African Americans, but it's totally different. Being pro-black is cool and cute and all, but it's not what it is.
Just kind of break that down, and I feel like that's really the issue, is people are not willing to break that down. Having fragility is not a good thing, but most white people have it, so they have to work through it. You know what I mean? I think it's just because society puts this on other people. It's not necessarily like white people's fault. It's society's fault.
It's literally like saying white people are cancer. Yeah, I know. It's like saying some racist ass shit and try to be so kind about it. It's like, yeah, no. It's not their fault, but they're just racist. Like they can't tell, but it's just something rooted in them. That's sickening. That's very sickening. And if I was a white person, I wouldn't want to be around this type of sickness either, because if you already think that about me, it's nothing I could do to change your mind. And I want to say this to white people: stop bowing down, bro. Stop bowing down. Stop being weak, because either way, you still gonna be racist. Don't matter to them. No matter how much you do, no matter what you say, no matter how much you give, doesn't matter. You're gonna always be racist. So say F it. F it. Be yourself, bro. And don't let it bother you. Mentally, you're under attack. Socially, you're under attack. All right? And it's not meant to solve any issues, because most of these issues that they're talking about has been solved. This is all imaginary things now. They're making stuff up. Things have been so good in this country as far as race relations, because it was way worse back then, right? Especially post-slavery and all this other stuff. We have been through a lot in this country as far as Americans. Culturally, we changed. We did that. The more we change, the more they're going to complain about, oh, no, we still need your help. No, we still got work to do. No matter how much you do, you still got work to do. So at this point, stop falling for it, okay? Be the best you can, and don't fall for the fuckery. As long as you ain't racist, who give a damn? Who gives a damn? Be yourself, bro. All right? We all Americans. When you fight for this country, we all gonna die for this country. That's what I believe. And I come from South Central. I come from the hood. I didn't used to think of it that way. All right? Because I was programmed just like this, so I don't blame her. But the person that's grown, that's your fault. The person that's grown around this kid talking like this, that's your fault. Destroying this young lady. And that's on her. And she got to live with that. So leave the people that don't want to get with it behind. Okay? You can't appease everybody.
Putting that on white people. And that's a lot of things with like racism. Society puts things on black people, right? But I feel like...
I think white people put it on themselves. I think white people are society.
Well, yeah.
I think it's one and the same.
Okay,
So I think
let me explain.
yeah.
Our society is based off of white supremacy from a historical standpoint,
Right.
From the Tulsa Massacre, to slavery, to literally like all our presidents except for one being black from the long period of time, right? Our society is based on the ideal of whiteness, from the nuclear house.
Now I used to think that too. All right, until I understood that this man is a traitor. In my mind, all right? And he might not be, but to me he is. If you know, you know. When you live in life like this, it's easy for people to come in your community and bring a black person that looks just like you, all right? Talk proper, all right? Fit all your needs. In order for you to bow down and bend the knee, all I need is to bring a black person in front of you because that's all you'll listen to. Easy. I'll just bring a black person to you, right? And say all the good things you want him to say. He's in the interest of the deep state. He's in the interest of destroying your community because he's not helping you. He don't care about you. He's just doing his thing. He came under the false pretense that he's going to help you. He's not. But it makes it easier for the government to do things like that because you're so gullible to a person that look like you. Don't need no more pro-black presidents. What we need is a president that's for America. Forget about race. Forget about your sexual orientation. Forget about all this social bull crap that does not matter. God first, country second, nuclear family third. People have become so selfish that they're trying to make this country all about them and their struggles, their personal struggles, and try to amplify their struggles as if we need to pay attention to that more than anything in this country. No. Like I said before, my country is more important than your feelings.
Called 1-2 parent households, things like that. And black people can have 2-parent households, but that's not how our community has ever been based. Even from Africa, we have been based on a village style of living and working together. It takes a whole village to raise a child, and black people truly embody that, while white people tend to have more of a nuclear family, 2 parents and a few children, and they work together, right? There's nothing really wrong with the nuclear.
Do you know there's a difference between the African and the African American? They don't look at us as Africans. Like I said, this is why I got into that, right? These black woke people always further ideology back to Africa. Is like, bro, you don't understand what Africa used to look like. You don't even understand Africa. We're not from Africa. So stop bringing that up. They don't even look at you as African. All right. You're fighting for something that doesn't exist. This relationship that does not exist. All right. Understand that Africans sold your ass to this country. I'm just going to be blatantly truthful and real. I don't give a crap about being pro-blackity black. All I care about is the truth. Because this got black people, black African Americans in this country fighting for something that never existed. Fighting for this brotherhood that they don't care about. Africa has their own problems. They're not worried about you. All right? They're not Wakanda. They're not looking for you and, oh, I finally found my brother. They don't care about this. They trying to get here and build their family up and build their life up. You're fighting for a Wakanda that never existed. Understand that Wakanda is a fucking movie. It's a Disney movie. Get over it.
American dream and whiteness, right? So because society is built on all of this whiteness and all of these standpoints that are made for.
So basically you saying a nuclear family is racist? The nuclear family worked even in black American culture. It worked. All right. A mother and a father. It worked. It led us to be the most dominant country in this fucking world. Instead of trying to learn African history, learn American history. Appreciate what you have. And it sounds like an ungrateful person to me because I used to be this way, right? Mind you, I used to be this way. A young dummy, a young woke. You have so many privileges in America. You have the privilege to say, I hate America. Racism, make up stuff in your head, right? And nobody do nothing to you because you're not the majority in this country. Mind you, and it's not a threat. I'm just saying, if you go to Africa saying some stuff about, in certain places in Africa, you can't talk about certain things. You can't talk about certain things because you will get dealt with. Even as a woman, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. In Africa, a woman can't even say certain things. You have certain privileges that you don't even know. But I would say this. If you love Africa so much, go there. Go there and see what your imagination of what Africa is actually true in real life. And once you figure out that it's not, please don't come back. Because we don't need this mentality. We trying to grow out here. We trying to grow and you holding us back.
And they're not really used to thinking outside the box and thinking about people of color. And that's what I'm talking about. And when they're confronted at the fact that they don't think about people of color, you get white fragility because they're scared. And they didn't want to realize that they let me rephrase this. They didn't realize that they weren't thinking about people of color, or they were in the back of their mind and they get scared. Right? So it's not.
Young black woman, you are so egotistical that you think that white people should think about you more. They have their own fucking life. They're humans. People, I'm worried about Americans. I'm worried about buying eggs. All right? I'm not worried about a white person. So it would be absurd for me to say you got to always think about me. If not, you racist as hell. Bro, they trying to feed their families just like you. And it seems to me you living in a white community, dog. So shit, you understand that they not far away from you. They trying to eat just like you. That they not think about you enough, but they think about you so much that they got so many microaggressions when they talk to you. But they not thinking about you enough. What do you want? What do you want? It's never enough. It's never enough. No, it's privilege for your African loving ass to say certain things that you saying, but you not in Africa. Your Africa loving ass to say what you saying in America and not going to Africa and saying that same thing, because that's a privilege. In certain countries in Africa, you're not going to be able to say this stuff that you're saying. Wherever you think you from, go there and see if you can have an opinion like you have right now. That's a privilege.
I mean, we haven't.
No, to be able to say it and to live in that, I think it's white privilege.
You're not making the right argument. The definition of racism is power behind discrimination. You can discriminate against white people. Anyone can. But you can't necessarily be racist towards white people, because racism comes from discrimination plus a place in society where you get to have power, right? That is the not clinical. If you look on Google, that's not necessarily what you're gonna get, because Google dumbs things down, right? But if you look at like,
we agree there.
Yeah, right. So if you look at like more like racial context, if you look at like Bell. Oh my God, I forgot her name, Bell Hooks, and so many different racial scholars, that's the definition that is greatly agreed on in the academic space. So racism is discrimination plus power, essentially. So white people have more power than most people of color, all people of color in the United States.
Nah, white people ain't got no more power than me. They don't. But like I said, if you think that way, you're going to always see that, right? And Crowder, you can't think this way because you're white. You can't tell me the truth because you're white. But I promise you, these people are the racist people that they're talking about. It's funny how the ugly head is coming out. It's so funny, and they don't see it. Hopefully they watch it back and see how discriminatory and how racist that they're being. All right, and I understand that the little girl, she's trying to keep it formal. But dude, the stuff that y'all saying, if he was to say that to y'all on y'all platform, y'all would be like, what the fuck? It would be on BET. It would be on CNN. It would be going crazy if he said that to y'all. Jeez, man. We're going to hear a little bit more of this and maybe give it part 3, but this is a lot of information we got to break down. There's a lot of accountability that we got to feed them. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't let nothing slide here. I don't give a crap if you black, white, lizard person, or anything. We got to hold you accountable.
Some people of color don't have as much power, so punching up is not the same as punching down. Mm-hmm. Anybody can discriminate against anybody. That's just a fact. But racism is based on a system of power.
Now, I don't know if this would be white. Would you be open to the idea that some of those things maybe are incorrect, and someone may be white and say, hey, you're wrong about this historically, and that not be called white privilege?
Well, I mean, if you got the facts, I can't even, if you have like facts and you have proof to like back it, there's no issues with that.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about,
the nuclear family. That's a big one. I don't know if you know this, but there were far more in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a far lower divorce rate for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
At the same time that black households had higher literacy
rates.
rates.
Why there's a lower divorce rate?
There was a lower divorce rate for a very long time until
why?
it went.
Because women had to, because they didn't own credit cards. They couldn't get divorced. They couldn't live without a man. That's literally the reason.
Hey, homegirl, you a baby. You don't know what the hell you talking about. But see, in the black community, this is what we got to deal with. All right. Black women despise getting our communities back together. This is just showing y'all the division between black liberals and white conservatives, all right? Because they love white people that bow down to them, so they cool with the white liberals who just bow down to them. But when it comes to in the black community, right? Black women are trying to stray away from what worked. They think that that's oppressive. Me taking care of them is oppressive. Me dying for them is okay. Okay, you could die for me in this field. You could die for me in the ditch. You could die for me when I'm bumping my guns to the wrong person. Yeah, you could die for me, but you can't tell me nothing about. You can't tell me what to do. Nuclear family, what's that? What? Jesus, what's that? What? No. The nuclear family, a father in the household, that's oppression. Because the woman's supposed to be the leader of the household. You got it all wrong. This is why we're at where we're at in the black community. We're destroying each other. To be honest, it's the women that's doing it, right? I was raised in a single mother household. I'm not gonna blame my mom completely, but God, she had a lot to do with this foolishness. All right, want to be masculine? That's out. This is why black men are going elsewhere. This is getting out of hand. We want to build our black families. We know what worked. Black women are becoming so unbearable and so unmeritable that we can't rock with y'all. We can't rock with y'all. We can't talk to y'all. We can't even deal with y'all. We can't even be in the same room as y'all talking about what worked, what really mattered. We dying for nothing. We dying for nothing. We trying for nothing. And I know I'm getting outside of the content, but dude, we have to talk about that because this is everybody's starting to see it now. We can't make Tyler Perry movies, the black man. Everybody's starting to see it now that black woman ain't that innocent. They ain't never been that innocent. They're apparently not that good at raising kids by themselves. And they need help. And we trying to help, but we can't help because they're destroying us and they blaming us at the same time when they the ones that raised us. This is absurd. And that's the video for today, guys. Man, if you like this content, man, like, comment, subscribe. Man, let me know what you guys think about this. These conversations need to be had, okay? The ugly head is coming out and no one can deny it. Nobody can run away from what's happening before them. And it's good for everyone to see. This is America's problem. In every community, I don't give a fudge about your race. Black, white, Puerto Rican, it doesn't matter. In America, most people are straying away from traditional family roles. And look what's happening. It's destroying our country at a high rate. We need to understand that we're better together than we are apart. And I don't care if you're black with a white person. I don't care if you're white with a black person. It doesn't matter. A father at home is the best thing for children. Like I said, I'm a product of it. So this is why I believe that I can speak about things like this. And anybody could, because y'all seen it. And I understand that my voice needs to be heard because there's people making excuses that come from the same background as me. When I made it out of the hood, when I got out of prison and did what I was supposed to do. Most people won't even believe that I went to prison. It's the way I carry myself. The mindset. My country is more important than your film. South Central, we out.
We be really politicking while we with